All right. Uno momento. I think we may be live. All right, 1 second. Let me see. All right.
Just got the notification for it. So
Good deal. All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Christian Hannah Horror here. I've got the roundtable guys. I've got first. We'll introduce Mr. Kalen. Kalen, man, how are you? How are you doing during COVID-19, man?
I'm good, Christian. Good to be here with you guys. Haven't been doing much. I've been doing my part to social distance from the world, so a lot of just hanging out at home with the cats.
How many cats do we have again? I forgot how many cats you have.
I have two cats.
Right on, right on. Not getting sick or anything, huh? You've been feeling good?
Nope, not at all. Feeling better than ever.
Well, that's good to hear, right? So, the other person we have today is the illustrious and lovely Tommy McDaniel. Tommy, how are we doing today?
what is up? Yeah, luckily for me, I've kind of been doing the social distancing thing for a while since I've my mom has been dealing with cancer, so I've been living with her and taking care of her, and I've had to stay away from sick people in order for her not to get sick. So it's not a huge difference for me right now. So, but yeah, it's still giving me a chance to watch a lot of movies, do a lot of stuff that I've put off. But it is what it is.
Absolutely good, man. Slasher 101's in here. What's going on, man? We're going to be talking about the movies we've been watching. And yeah, pretty much that. And whatever kind of questions kind of come in tonight, I think we'll just tackle those as they come. Tommy, we'll start with you, man. I know I've been watching a lot of movies. I'd love to know what you've been watching. Sure, you've been streaming a lot, as has the whole world. So
Yeah. You know, one of my biggest problems always is like I don't watch a lot of newer movies. I have a problem where like I like to watch stuff that I've seen before because it's kind of it's comfortable, the nostalgic feeling or whatever. But I kind of made myself start watching things that I haven't seen. So I've watched like Happy Death Day. Finally, I watched that in the sequel. I really liked the first one. Second one, not as much. It kind of goes more into a science fiction thing, I think, in a way. But I finally watched Parasite. I love that. Satanic Panic. I'm sure there's others that I can't really think of. But my next goal this week, I want to start watching the Friday the 13th trilogy from front to back. I've only done that one other time, and that was like 20 years ago. So, but yeah, that's what's been going on as far as things that I've been watching and plan to watch.
so let's go back real quick. You said Happy Death Day. That's actually a movie I watched myself for the first time probably a few weeks before all this COVID stuff went on. You said you liked the first one more than the second
Yeah,
one?
yeah, I enjoyed the first one. The second one, it didn't seem to concentrate as much on the killer aspect as much as the whole reason that everything was happening with the apparatus that was built that but it was still okay, but I enjoyed the first one a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not on my
Um
favorites list, but hey.
to me it seemed like the first Happy Death Day. I think they even made a joke about it at the end. Like the first one was like the horror Groundhog Day,
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
the second one was kind of like the Back to the Future kind of like they
Yeah,
had to figure
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, and Parasite. You said you saw Parasite.
Hmm.
Did it live up to the
Absolutely.
hype for you? Because God knows that movie won every award and people were losing their
Yeah,
minds
I
over it.
mean, I really enjoyed it. I didn't really know what to expect. I had no idea what it was about. So I think that was kind of a cool thing. It's one of those movies I think you can watch multiple times and start to get more of the subtext as far as like the class issues in a place like South Korea,
Right.
difference between the rich and the poor and stuff like that. But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I remember my first time seeing that movie. I don't know, man, because I get nervous with foreign films because sometimes I can't relate to them. And I
Yeah.
don't try to not do that, but sometimes I really got to focus. And I'm not a massive subtitles fan. I've gotten over that exponentially over the
Yeah.
last year or so, because I've realized that I'd be missing out on a lot of great cinema if I just let that
Especially
hinder
that's
me.
the guy who directed Parasite. A lot of he has so many great movies.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Real quick, we'll say hey to Slasher 101, 80s horror fan. Hey John, Evil Joe, John McCullough. How you guys doing? If you have questions for us, fire away. But we're gonna be talking about movies basically and horror. So, Kaylin, you never got a chance to see Parasite yet, did you?
I did. You actually let me borrow it, and I'm still
Oh,
holding on to it.
tell me about it. What did you think?
Well, I loved it. I watched it actually twice. The first time just for enjoyment purposes, and then the second time to really just focus on a lot of the what the movie kind of symbolizes.
Hmm.
There's a lot of underlying themes and stuff that I might not have caught on the first go round. So I made sure that I watched it the second time, watched the special features, and it lives up to the hype. I think it was touted as one of the best movies of 2019, and I definitely see why. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think it won Best Picture. I know Joaquin Phoenix won Best Actor. I think he won the Best Actor award, but I know that Parasite like they took a lot of awards home. What was the next movie on your list, Tommy? I want to go through these one by one.
Let's see. I watched. I said I watched Satanic Panic,
Satanic
which is
Panic.
a decent. It's a fun movie.
It was fun. I know that one of Rob Zombie's regulars had a small role in there. I forgot the name. Jeff something. He has like a 3-part name, but he was the warden in Three from Hell. He was in this guy that one of. I gotta look it up now, otherwise I'm gonna be so aggravated. Let's see. Three from Hell, because I want to shout that guy out. I loved him, and I loved seeing him in Satanic Panic. Jeff Daniel Phillips, he was in Satanic Panic, and it was really cool seeing him in something that was just not a Rob Zombie film. But I thought that was fun. Yeah, Tommy, did you hear about, or Kaylin, either one of y'all? There was a controversy with that movie when it got released at
In
Walmart.
Walmart. Yes, I think you did a video about it, if I'm not mistaken. You kind of
Yeah,
talked about it.
and
Was it
people,
where they were scared to put the name Satanic in the title, so they just rebranded it as the movie Panic?
yes, and
Yeah,
I thought it was funny. I was like, you know what? I want to own the copy that just has Panic on it, because
right.
maybe ridiculously, maybe not. We'll see. I ridiculously told myself the Panic one will end up being a collector's item. Just watch.
Well,
So
that's like there was a couple of holidays ago. There was a Christmas horror movie that was called like it had Christmas in the title, and at Walmart they changed it to holiday. Can't remember maybe somebody who's like watching can remember exactly what movie that was, but I thought that was kind of interesting. And another thing, where maybe that one will be worth more money because maybe it'll be rare because most people aren't going to buy that version right now. You
right,
want the actual title on it.
right. So what was the next movie, Tommy? After Satanic Panic,
I think I'm
you
drawing a
watched Happy.
blank.
You watched the Happy Death Days. You watched Parasite.
Parasite, and this has
Satanic.
been we've been kind of isolated for the last. It's been over a month, so I'm kind of forgetting a lot of the ones that I watched. That I watched April Fool's Day on April 1st. That was actually the first time I'd seen it, believe it or not. I really
Yeah,
enjoyed that, and I mean it's a cool movie with a cool twist. Um,
yeah.
yeah, so
All right, Kaylin. Well, what have we been watching over there, Kaylin? It doesn't have to be horror. You can tell me whatever you've been watching. I'm sure it's interesting, regardless.
oh, for sure. You know it is. First of all, I want to say what's up to everybody in the chat. I can't see you, but I know you're there.
Yeah,
What's up?
we're starting to get a couple questions, so I want to see which you've been watching. Then we're gonna start we'll be talking about Halloween up here in a second, but
All
want
right.
to know
Um,
what you've been watching.
Next, I want to say your horror room looks great. I wish I was there instead of my stupid room in my house.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
same here.
Well, I'm
Um,
ready to get you guys back over here. God knows I'm trying to get you guys over here. Things are
okay,
starting to
so
ease
Christian,
up a
what I
little
like
bit.
to do is I like to go to Netflix horror, and I like to scroll for about 25 minutes, just hitting the right button over and over and over, so I can see all of the movies that they have to offer at least a dozen times, so that I can usually pick the worst one. So I've watched a medley of Netflix worst horror movies
Okay,
this week. Um,
this sounds good.
Also, probably about 6 or 7. I won't name off. If you watch Netflix horror, you probably watched them too. Um, Watched a documentary called The Pandemic, which
Yeah,
is
I saw that.
which is a bad idea right now because
Yeah.
I don't get much exposure to the outside world. I know that people are dying, and then I watch this documentary and it just freaks me out. So, been watching
Excellent.
that. That's the scariest thing. And then I watched Tiger King, and we can
Yeah, I was
talk
just
about that.
thinking. Yeah, we do have to talk
Oh
about that a
boy.
little bit.
But other than that, I've watched one particular movie 26 times. Let me go grab it real quick.
Holy smokes. All right, we're gonna be
Have you
talking
seen
about.
Tiger King?
Oh, I watched it.
Yeah.
We're gonna be up here in a minute. Be ready, Tommy. We're gonna be talking about
So did Kalen
Texas
say he
Chain.
can't see the comments?
Yeah.
He probably I can see him fine in mine.
Oh
I
well.
had to switch over from private chat to live comments.
I'm just glad Kalen's here. Oh, Night of the Dead,
Yes.
1990.
Yeah, the
Excellent,
VHS
man.
copy.
Excellent. All right,
Awesome.
Kalen, I'm gonna put you on the spot real quick, and Tommy. Night of the Living Dead, 1968. Night of the Living Dead, 1990. Which ones do you like more?
You know me, I'll always go with 90. That was my first, well, that was my second zombie movie, my first Romero film. And it's always had a special place to me. It's got to be the best remake ever. I mean, outside of maybe The Thing, but that's kind of different to me. But I don't know. I love Night of the Living Dead 90. It's
All
just
right,
one of
well,
my favorite horror movies. Period.
I dare to say a man that watches Night of the Living Dead 1990 26 times in the last, I'm
I
assuming
didn't get
Kalen.
it. I didn't get it the first 24 times, but
Yeah.
by the time it's 26, I was like, yeah, this is pretty good.
And it takes effort because it's on VHS, so I have to rewind it
Yeah.
and
Oh,
play it again.
excellent. So, Kalen, you prefer 1990 over 68?
Of course, I love
Amen.
them both.
Right.
But
Same here.
Tony Todd.
Hmm. So many people in that movie, man. So many, Bill Moseley and I mean, so many, people who went on to do other things.
Yep. All right, let's get this can of worms opened up right now. Lil Am asks, what do you think about the upcoming Halloween kills and Halloween ends? Kaylin, why don't you go ahead and start? What do you think about Halloween kills? What do you think about Halloween ends?
Well, I'm probably the least knowledgeable about these, and I'm just gonna say that I look forward to seeing them. I bet they're gonna be great. Maybe you guys can tell me more.
Tommy? Go
Uh,
ahead, Tommy.
I loved the Halloween, the last one. I'm not the hugest Halloween fan. I love the movies, uh, but they're probably my least favorite slasher, and I know that's kind of blasphemous. And I wasn't a big fan of the Rob Zombie remakes, and I'm a huge Rob Zombie fan. But I watched because we did a roundtable on comparing the last remake and what was it? The one with Busta
H2O.
Rhymes. Yeah. Oh no. Okay. Yeah. H2O. Right. But
Buster
so I'm
Rhymes' Resurrection, man. I don't like
right. Yeah,
Resurrection.
right. Exactly. But so I'm excited. I haven't really looked into a lot about what the story is going to be about, but like I said, if it's anything like the last one, I'm excited to see what they do.
Yeah, well, I know that it's funny because this is probably how this works. My Candyman poster's crooked. Hold on. This is how this works. I think there was like some kind of reporter who saw David Gordon or Jason Blum maybe on a subway, maybe out and about, and pretty much asked him like, "Hey Jason, how does Halloween Kills look?" And he probably just quickly in passing was like, "Oh, it's looking pretty good." And so that headline made it all on Facebook and everywhere. And Jason Blum says Halloween Kills, quote, looks pretty good. And I think it got spun to be like he's not like he just thinks the movie's okay as opposed to
Yeah.
the movie's great. But like I'm telling you, what probably happened was some reporter, somebody working for some company or whatever, saw him and was just like, "How's it looking?" And he was just like, "Oh, it's looking pretty good." And so, but it got spun to make it sound like he thinks the movie's just okay. Of course, David Gordon Green thinks. I mean, of course, Jason Blum thinks. Halloween's gonna look good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Kills, because I'm hearing that it's supposed to be brutal. Like it's supposed to be hardcore, like bloody and gross and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's cool. I think I'm just ready. But here's the thing. I mean, is this movie gonna hit theaters with everything that's going on? That's what I really want to know. You know.
Yeah. I would love to see them start to bring back drive-ins for this reason alone, you know? It just seems like it's the right time, for
Without
something like that.
without question, my thing is this: with they rolled out some of these movies to stream, like instead of because
Yeah,
theaters are closed. I'm not paying $20 to rent a movie.
I agree, but I was reading how the Trolls movie, it actually, I think, made more money as a direct release, and it's kind of they're starting to speculate maybe a lot of studios are going to be like, hey, maybe this is the way to go. So who
Well,
knows
didn't
what'll happen, man?
Yeah, and Universal, they were not Universal. Well, yeah, Universal. They were the
Universal,
ones
yeah,
that
yeah,
got banned from AMC theaters because AMC was like, okay, if you're gonna do that to us, we're just not gonna. If you're gonna put our movies out that we have people pay to come
right.
see, we're just not gonna play your movies. Dude,
Which I
that's
thought was kind of
gutsy.
ridiculous because it's like, I mean, right now you don't really have any other choice, you know. I mean, I understand if it wasn't a quarantine and theaters weren't shut down, but I don't know. To me, it's like right now, it's give them a little leeway, and they just want to make sure people can see these movies that they finished.
Yeah,
But I'm with
yeah.
you. I'm not paying $20 to watch a movie at home. No,
I mean,
no, I
Jesus,
don't
man.
think so.
Let's see what other kind of questions we got. But I really can't speculate on Halloween ends because first of all, I mean, I don't think it's the end. I
Right?
think yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
5 or 6 years. Let's see. What kind of
We had
questions we
one
got?
higher that was somebody was asking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre
Yeah.
before
Well,
they were asking.
Mimi says, "What do you think it would take to make Texas Chainsaw Massacre good and creepy?" It already is good and creepy.
Yeah,
it is good and creepy. John McCullough asks, "What do you guys think of the upcoming Child's Play series?" Who wants to start on that?
speaking of, did you see kind of news of the guy, one of the co-writers, screenwriters, passed away? John Lafia. I had no idea who he was, but
I did see that.
he co-wrote and directed Child's Play 2, and but yeah, so just to throw that out there, rest in peace. It's
Yeah, did
funny
see
how
that.
I'd never really heard his name before. I had no idea who he was, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, and the series is actually kind of continuing in uh, the vein of the like not the newest movie, right? It's still kind of continuing in the storyline from what was the last Child's Play with the original Chucky. I can never
Um,
remember the name of it.
Cult
It's
of
on
Chucky.
Netflix. Yeah, which I thought that one was pretty good, actually, believe it or not. I mean, it still had kind of the silliness, but it was, I don't know, it was still kind of a creepy movie. I thought they were doing something kind of cool with that, to be honest. It's probably my favorite since the second one, maybe.
Yeah.
I think the Child's Play saga has a lot of unanswered questions to tell. So I believe that we could probably go. I'm very excited to see what they bring with the next one.
Yeah. Well, Cult of Chucky, gave me more questions. So there's,
Yeah,
yeah. And then maybe that was on purpose. Like, you know, I guess if I can believe that a man can possess a doll, then he can also possess multiple dolls at the same time. Like, at what point am I supposed to draw the line on this world? So at first I was just like, you know what, like he can't do that. But then I was like, well, you know what? If he's possessing one doll, let him possess more than one. Um, TV. I'm not sure about TV. I know people that think that TV is the future with a lot of these horror franchises. I know that there's a Hellraiser TV franchise, along with I think a remake, whatever. And I don't know. TV is interesting. It really depends on which way you go with this kind of stuff. I don't know
Yeah.
what channel Child's Play is going to be on. I mean, I just think Shudder should really start doing what they can to get this kind of stuff, because I think that the streaming
Right.
services is the only, because look, Netflix is making all these TV shows. That's what they're known for now more than
Right.
anything. The movies are cool, but people love these Netflix shows, and actors are going to these TV shows because, like, I was listening to an interview, I think by Joe Bob or something. He was talking about how actors don't get good royalty checks from movies anymore because of pirating, but the streaming and the monthly plays and it kind of works like Spotify, right? Like how many streams they get equates to 0.01 cent or whatever, how many plays around. So the actors are going to these TV shows now because their residual checks are better than doing movies, which makes sense, because back in the day, going to TV was like a demotion for an actor. But now, this is why you got like these big actors going on these TV shows on
Yeah.
Netflix. Paul Rudd
Well,
is on a Netflix TV show. Christina Applegate doing a TV show.
and I mean, you look at some of those AMC shows, and like the way Breaking Bad was and the way Walking Dead was, which I think they've kind of dragged that one out way longer than they should have. But at one time, it was a great show, and I think TV's doing some awesome things, and that's why you're getting these big name actors on these shows. But speaking of Shudder and Siri, I did watch the new Creep Show series also, which I thought had some good, some of the episodes were good, some of them not so good, but I thought it was really cool.
Tommy, I'll tell you, I'm a Creep Show fanatic, and that TV show is my favorite anything related with Creep Show. I agree, some of them were not as
But none of them were horrible.
dude, when I saw House of the Head, I was like, okay, this is special. I know that was one with the little girl with the dollhouse with the little, and it was the second episode. The one with the girl who had the dollhouse and that little shrunken.
Oh yeah, yeah,
head.
right.
When
Yeah.
I knew as soon as that one started, I was like, okay, this one's gonna be special. It was,
And
great.
it feels more like Tales from the Crypt, but even creepier. But it has that kind of 80s, 90s TV series feel, like something you would see late at night, between the Nightmare on Elm Street series and Tales from the Crypt. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
dude,
to me, it has that feel, which I thought was really cool.
Hey, real quick, I saw a really nice comment. This is from Joseph F. Joseph S, not F. I'm sorry. Joseph says he's a long-time watcher, first-time commenter. Well, thank you for the support over the years. And he asks a great question we touched on. He said, could the drive-in theater make a comeback in a post-COVID social distancing world? Any thoughts? Kalen, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that it's kind of silly for us to think that the world's going to be exactly how it was before all of this. It's likely that movie theaters probably aren't going to be what they were, years ago. And car culture is a big deal, especially in America. And people are nostalgic. I know my generation, we didn't grow up with drive-in theaters. It was something that we heard about, and always something that I think I've always thought would be a cool experience.
Mm-hmm.
I think if it's done right, and I think eventually down the line that, yeah, I could see that happening.
Well, and you also see people who, for the last long time, people would have these special events where they wouldn't be in cars, but they would be outside watching movies. They would have these blow up screens and things like that. So I think it's just a natural extension of that.
I would love to see it, man. I never really got to experience the drive-in before, so I think it'd be great.
Like I never, there was one in Ruston, well, outside of Ruston, outside of our hometown. And when I was a kid, I remember driving by it and looking over it and seeing movies play and thought it was the coolest thing. But no, I never got to, personally experience it.
Yeah. Real quick, John, 80s horror fan John Kyle with a $25 super chat. Thank you, John. That is very much
Oh, thank you.
appreciative. Um, let's see. I had some more good ones. Let's see. Let me find them. I gotta scroll. Evil Joe. He asks, name a horror movie everyone hates but you guys love. I don't
Oh
have to think
wow!
about that, but if anybody has one that comes off the top of their mind, just shout it out.
I think I
Thank
will have to think about that.
everyone hates but I
Well,
love.
probably every horror movie that I love, honestly.
Kalen's a full moon guy, so he's always got
Yeah,
his
I like
back on
Full
his
Moon. I
end.
like Trauma Video. Just a lot of this stuff. Actually, when I was in high school, we would go to friends' house and we would rent movies from Hollywood Video, and I would be the guy that would show up with a movie, and there would be like a house full of people. We'd be having a party, and I would always pick the worst horror movies. And a lot of times, if people knew that I was getting the movie, they'd split.
Oh my god.
One
That's
one of
funny.
one of my favorite was a movie called Redneck Zombies. I remember
Yeah,
bringing that to a party, and it pretty much sealed the reputation that I was the guy who couldn't pick good movies. So
Oh
yeah.
my god. I don't know. I'm sure there are tons of movies that I enjoy that aren't fan favorites. I mean, dude, I love Freddy's Dead, and in the communities that I look at, that is not a really respected nightmare film, and I don't really have any arguments. People say, I mean, people say it's too silly, it's whatever. I ain't gonna argue
it's
that. I love
yeah, it's
Freddy's
a
Dead.
nostalgic thing for me because I love it too. And the funny thing is, which I don't think they're hated as much now, but Friday the 13th Part 5 and Halloween 3 are two of my favorites in each of the series. So I mean, both of those were kind of lambasted at certain times. I don't think so much as much now. Uh, but Halloween 3 obviously because Michael Myers isn't in it, and Friday because it's not spoiler, it's not really Jason. But
Right.
they're two of my favorites in the series.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Psycho Sullivan says, I just picked up the graphic novel of Creep Show. It's the exact copy of the movie. It's dope. Check it out on Amazon. Excellent, man. That's
Oh
awesome.
wow, yeah, that'd be cool to have.
We got Charlie, Lil Moco in the chat. Psycho Sullivan says, drive-ins are awesome. Get to one if you get a chance. I would like to open up an interactive drive-in theater. Oh, I would love that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
I watched Chillerama again, which I had seen that, but I watched. Speaking of drive-ins, I watched that for the third or fourth time. Have you seen that, Christian?
I haven't seen Chillerama. I have not seen that.
It is on Amazon Prime right now.
Okay,
But
I'll
it's
check that out.
it's an interesting movie. It's I think Adam Green did a segment. I'm drawing a blank on the other names. Adam Rifkin did a segment. But it's all based around a drive-in theater, and they're kind of their last night being open.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's got
that sounds great.
yeah, just a really cool movie. Kane plays a zombie or a Frankenstein. I think he's like, yeah, you just got to see it. It's really just a cool movie. Definitely check it out.
Dang, that's awesome. I'm gonna have to check that out. Oh man, so people want the drive-ins to come back. Lil Moco says, "Do you like Jason or Myers?" Well, I like both of them. How about this? We'll play a game. Who would win in a fight? Let's answer that really quick. Kalen, who would win in a fight between Jason and Myers? Answer that real quick. I'll be right back. I gotta go hand my wife something. I'll be right back.
Who would win in a fight between Jason and Michael Myers? Tommy, what do you think?
I'll go with Jason because He's my favorite of the two. Uh, they're so similar in a lot of ways, so that's a tough one, you know.
I'm a Freddy guy, so I don't know.
Right? Yes,
Mm.
but they're both these silent killers that
It's a
rely
clear
on
winner to
brute
me.
strength.
It's a
What do you
clear
got?
winner to me. Oh, dude, Jason would absolutely obliterate Michael. Are you kidding me?
That's
Michael's
yeah,
Jason is just he's too brutal. I mean, look, seriously, take Michael Myers from 1978. They just put him in a ring with Kane Hodder from the New Blood. I mean, seriously, like you know what I mean. And you can swap out any of them, and I still think if you take Halloween 4, Michael, and put him up against like well, he'd beat Roy Burns without question. Halloween 4, Michael would kill Roy Burns without question. But take like Halloween 4 Myers, because he's like a big one, and put him up against like part 3 or 4, dude. I still think, dude, Ted White's Jason. You put him up in the ring with any Michael from any movie. I don't care.
and
I still think Jason would win.
I kind of felt like in Halloween 4 and 5, Michael kind of became more of just a Jason clone. Anyway, it was like they were trying to almost,
Make him more powerful, make him more,
yeah. They kind of saw how popular that series was.
I was when I did, when I was doing that interview with Pizzal not long ago, somebody asked him about what movies he watched, and he said something that I completely agree with. What movies you watch during Halloween, and he says he always watches Halloween 4 because he says that he said the opening of the film is like the perfect feeling of Halloween, and dude, I put it on the next day after that because when I love the opening, but it's true, man. When you put on that opening of Halloween 4, I don't know,
Yeah.
dude, it feels so much like it feels like Fall in the Room already.
Right. Yeah.
I love that.
I agree with that, definitely.
All right, let's see. 80s Horror Fan says Jason would win. Mimi says Jason has been killed and had to be resurrected, and Michael has never been killed. That's true, but look,
Well,
man,
he had his head chopped off.
Look,
even though that doesn't count.
Jamie Lee Curtis killed him in H2O, man. How are you
Yeah.
going to tell me that Michael, after everything he's been through, like was able to get out of his outfit and just like look perfectly normal and get into a
Right.
paramedic's outfit? I just think somebody would have noticed.
Yeah. I
You know?
agree.
Oh my God. Evil Joe says Jason's got the muscle, Michael's got the brains. Okay, I won't argue that. S Rose 40 says I prefer Michael, but Jason is just raw power. Jason would overwhelm him.
It'd be interesting. Those two,
Okay,
because, like I said,
this-
they're so similar. Like that would make the coolest movie.
This would be a good fight. John McCullough says Jason remake and Michael. Now I'm assuming you mean both remakes, but I'm not going to take 2018. I want to take Rob Zombie's Michael Myers
2007,
and
yeah.
2000. Dude, that would be a brawl because those are two
Right.
big dudes. That would be a brawl. I got to go with Tyler Mane on that one. I do. I love Derek Mears in that remake, but dude, Tyler Mane is a freaking beast. I think he might take it. I don't know. But I don't know. I'm trying to see young Michael versus young Jason. I'll go with young Jason on that. I don't think little Michael. But then again, little Michael was brutal.
Yeah. Young Jason was more kind of like, is that pre being pushed into the water and drowning and becoming, or because before that, he just got picked on all the time. And
I think it'd be him coming out of the lake. I don't know.
yeah,
I'm trying to think of anything I'm just really excited to see. What are y'all thoughts on Candyman? Because that trailer, I think it's a really good trailer. But I'm unsure about the movie. I'm not sure what to think about it. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer for Candyman. Either of y'all?
yeah, I saw it when they first released it.
What do y'all think? I'm still unsure. Like my back's up against the wall with it, not in a I want to dislike it sort of way because I don't, right? I want to like every movie I go to see, right? But I'm really unsure. What do you guys think about it?
Go ahead, Kayla.
Either
You
one
got
of
to
y'all.
talk as much.
Well, I'm a huge fan of Candyman. I think that the franchise is great. I've enjoyed all. I mean, I've enjoyed the other movies so much. I look forward to seeing it, but it just depends on. I've been so disappointed with a lot of big budget Hollywood horror movies lately. It seems like the more independent ones have been more satisfying. So I don't know. I hope they don't geek it up, and it should be good.
Yeah.
That's another character that kind of like Freddy that Tony Todd is so attached to that it's tough to see somebody else.
Now
you
there's
know,
word on him having a cameo in the movie,
yeah,
but I mean,
he is in the movie in some capacity, but yeah. So I'll see it and see what happens. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
yeah, we'll see.
We got looks like we got 23 people in here right now. If you don't mind, drop a like real quick on the stream. It really helps. It really helps us out. If you don't mind.
Somebody asked the Texas Chainsaw remake versus original.
Oh,
I'm guessing Leatherface. Are you asking which movie is better or which Leatherface would win in a fight?
well, we can answer both of them.
Yeah,
I'll tell you right now. I think remake would win in a fight, but the original to me, I remember I said this when we did the live stream. I mean, when we did the round table,
yeah,
Texas
yeah,
Chainsaw Massacre is the greatest horror movie.
yeah.
You
It's
know?
definitely yeah. I think as far as obviously the original movie is better. As far as a fight, which I don't like, I said I'm not sure if that's what you're asking, but the remake, and I'm talking about the Platinum Dunes with Jessica Biel, that remake.
Yeah,
Uh,
she was lovely in that movie.
right, Leatherface was more just straight brutal. He wasn't the kind of funny, not really funny, but he didn't have that kind of goofy side as much. He was more just straight up killer. But yeah,
Yeah,
the
Kalen,
original movie, I mean, you can't beat it.
Kalen.
Oh, yeah, old OG Texas horror, Chainsaw Horror Massacre, all the way.
What about
I, I
Cool.
go with the old
which
one.
Leatherface would win in a fight though?
Probably not the one that I like, but
Dude,
I'm
honestly though, Gunnar, okay, really though, I might want to change my answer. Dude, Gunnar Hansen is a big son of a gun. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. He was a big dude. Screw it, I'm changing. I'm going back with
Hey, yeah,
original.
maybe that original, the craziness might give him that, upper hand.
All right, so John Stanton with another lovely $25 super chat. We really appreciate that, man. That's great. This is a very easy answer for me. He says better remake The Fly or The Thing, and nobody ever agrees with me. I'm sorry, I still think The Fly is so good. I mean, they're like this for me, but The Fly gets in my bones a little, just a hair more than The Thing. The Thing, I love The Thing. I really do. It's one of the best remakes ever in the world, right? I don't think anybody really argues that. But The Fly, I just think,
Critics argued it when it came out since they all
yeah,
hated it.
and nobody, yeah. But dude, I'm telling you, I'm a Fly guy. I'm always gonna be a Fly guy. I just think it's got such a God. Goldblum is just he does it in that movie. That whole movie is amazing to me from the very first second to the very last. I'm a Fly guy.
I need to watch it again. I'll go with The Thing, but I need to watch The Fly again. I haven't seen it since I was a kid, and I mean, I definitely remember parts and remember some, Jeff Goldblum's kind of transformation and how kind of disgusting it was as a kid. But I need to watch that again.
Yeah.
Christian, I think you need a T-shirt that says "I'm a Fly guy."
I'll make it and put it on.
That's
the Teespring.
amazing. Yes.
What do you think, Kalen?
I don't know. I like them both, but the remake of The Fly was probably the better, in my opinion.
There we go. We got a great question from Evil Joe. Another battle question. Harry Warden versus Roy Burns. Who's the best copycat killer? Oh, because, yeah,
Right.
there's a man with no life in his eyes. I'm going with Roy
Yeah.
Burns.
Yeah.
I love me some Roy Burns, man. Evil Joe, I also noticed your picture looks like an altered cover of Nightmare Beach, which is really cool. I wanted to show this because I didn't earlier, but we're talking about what we've been watching. RC 2001 Studios, I'm going to do your question next. CDR, it's good to see you in here, man. Drop a like on the stream if you haven't. John McCullough, Jeff Goldblum is nuts, but that was great. These are the movies I've been watching. One of them is a pretty dead giveaway based on what's on my television. I watched The Dead Pit. I got this Blu-ray. I really like that movie. It's a fun little charming movie. I finally got this on Blu-ray, and I watched it the other night. The greatest vampire movie ever made, Fright Night.
Yeah, I watched that again the other night.
Dude, Tommy, it's so good. I mean, it really
Yeah.
is just so good. Kaylin,
So
go ahead.
I was just going to ask, after, seeing it, what was it, a month, however long ago it was, last time we got together, seeing Fright Night 2, what do you think about it now that you've had time to kind of
Dude, honestly,
sit on it more?
I honestly, because I rewatched it 2 more times since that
Wow.
time we did. I give Fright Night a 10 out of 10. I give Fright Night 2 a 9.9 out of 10. I mean,
Yeah.
they're both just so freaking good. Now, if somebody tells me Fright Night 2 is my favorite, or even if they say, "Oh, Fright Night 2 is better," I really don't know what to say. Like, dude,
Yeah,
'cause
I
it's
can
that
understand.
good.
Yeah.
Kaylin, you remember how good? How fun was Fright Night 2?
Yeah, it was great. It's probably one of my favorite movies, so I don't have any bad things to say about it.
Dude,
Yeah,
it's
I
so
mean, if
good.
I would have seen it as a kid, it may have been my favorite of the two because having that nostalgic feeling along with how good it is, it can be harder to find favorites nowadays because, we're old and,
Yeah. Phil's Creepy Vids in here. What's up, man? It's really good to see you. So let me keep going. So yeah, I watched Fright Night, and then the other night I watched Dolly Dearest, and this is the new Vinegar Syndrome Blu-ray. I remember Kaylin came over and watched this with me, and this is like a pretty good little movie. It's a Child's Play ripoff, but dude, it's actually like really creepy, and I like that movie a lot. This movie I fell in love with. This is, excuse me, this is Nightmare Beach. And this is like an Italian late 80s movie. And it's got John Saxon in it, which I'm sure you guys know John Saxon. He was
yeah.
Lieutenant Thompson in Nightmare on Elm Street. And he's like I didn't realize this, but he's a B-movie actor. But he was like a really classy favorite. Like he was like the star B-movie actor, meaning like he was the guy that was put in all those low-budget movies that everybody would know.
Yeah. And Enter the Dragon
he gives
also.
Everything I watch, yeah. He gives everything I watch like a touch of class. I mean, he really does. John Saxon, whenever he's in a movie, there's a touch of class to it, and he elevated that movie a lot. Best movie I've seen this year, without any form of question. Vince Vaughn and Brawl in Cell Block 99. Brutal. This movie was so brutal. And great action, not that fast cut, half a second frame stuff. Every time there was a fight scene in here where bones are broken and stuff, they show it, and they actually like planned out they choreographed the fight, so everything is like you see it, and it looked so good. And y'all saw Brawl in Cell Block 99.
I have not seen it. I've heard of it. A lot of people, and nothing but good things.
Best movie I've seen this year.
That's my praise. So I definitely need to check it out.
Yeah, so good. Me and my wife's favorite bad movie we've seen this year, good bad movie, Monster Dog, starring Alice Cooper. Now he did this movie when he was okay. So if anybody who's not who's a nut about Alice like I am already knows this, but basically, Alice was at the end of his rope. He was on drugs bad. He was losing his contract with Warner Brothers, wrapping up his career, it almost looked like. And he did this basically to make some money, and he filmed it overseas. I forgot where, but his rule was like, I don't want to release this in America for the time being. Obviously,
Yeah.
now years later, it's a cult hit. But the guy who did Troll 2 did this movie, and it's really funny. And I loved it. And Alice Cooper, the guy who whoever did the voice work for him, it actually kind of sounds like him, so that was good because a lot of those Italian movies they didn't. You
Right.
guys know they don't use the audio.
Yeah, I think
Big
I
Show-
watched the episode of Good Bad
ahead.
Flicks on that. I can't even the name of the last movie you showed with Alice Cooper.
Monster Dog.
But I'd like to see that. I actually like
Yeah.
to see that.
Old Fashioned says, "Gotta love Nightmare Beach." Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Old Fashioned Slash, and he was like telling me like, watch it. And I was like, I'm going to. Real quick, let me ask. We have RC 2001 with the good questions. Who would win in a fight, Severin Near Dark or David the Lost Boys? I don't know. I guess David. I don't know. I kind of like David.
That's a tough one. I love both movies, but The Lost Boys is the one that I've loved since I was a kid. I didn't see Near Dark till later, but it's still one of my favorite directors of all time.
Right.
The woman who directed it has done so many awesome movies, but yeah, that's a tough one. I really don't know which one would win.
Yeah. Entertainment Fanatic Reviews. Hey, what's up? Andrew's in here. Says, what's up? We're about to play some F-13, but I had to stop and show love. How you doing, buddy? It's good to see you. Metropolis. That's a name that guy, I've seen him comment on my videos from years ago. Check out an early 80s flick, Spasms. It was on the cover of Fangoria, Giant Snake. I've never heard of that. He says Fright Night owns them all, though. Show of hands, is Fright Night the greatest vampire movie ever? You got my hand up there.
I actually, at one time, I was thinking of suggesting kind of a showdown between Fright Night and Lost Boys, because those two kind of can't compete to me. That's just me, but
Yeah.
they're so different though.
Here's the
and they're
thing,
so
Tommy.
unique in their own way.
I respect Lost Boys. I really do. I think it's a great movie. I just don't ever really have the desire to rewatch it. Is that weird? Like, I don't know.
But, hey, it is what it is, man.
You know?
I mean, you think of it, a lot of it comes from individually when you saw it in your life, and you're trying to recapture that feeling, that nostalgic feeling of and maybe it didn't hit you that way when you saw it as a kid or whatever. But to me, it was like, oh, so I watch it every time it's on. It's one of those where I'm flipping through the channels and I see it on and I have to stop and watch it.
Yeah. We got 19 people in here still. We're going to keep going for a while, guys. If you haven't liked the stream, give it a like. It really helps us out. Let's see. We got Ragman right here. He says, I really love vampire films. The Subspecies series is definitely on top of my list because I love visual movies. Not a lot of talking, but great acting. Have you seen it? The Subspecies series, excuse me. I've seen Subspecies 1 through 3, and I love Subspecies. I think it's probably the second best full moon movie, especially the first one besides Puppet Master. I just love that movie. Kalen, you're a full moon guy. Have you rocked the Subspecies movies?
Oh, of course. What's the main actress's name from the Subspecies?
Let me look it up because I can't remember it.
Yeah, I've seen the first one, and yeah, I was surprised at how much I liked it because I wasn't sure just from the box, but yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Anders Hove. And Angus Scrim is in the beginning of Subspecies, which is great. He's got that silly wig on. But, dude, I love Subspecies because it's reminiscent of Nosferatu with the long hands.
And the creepy, like, the scenes that are outside in front of, like, the castle or whatever, everything about that is so creepy to me, and it's daytime, but it's still just, I don't know, it's awesome mood.
Oh, absolutely. Let's see, we got, let me see what everybody's saying. Metropolis says, Andrew says, love the Piz style angle, Christian. Oh, yeah, I thought it would be nice actually. Like, somebody said when I go live, can I angle my camera so they can see the horror room? And I was like, yeah, that's not a bad idea. So
yeah, it's a cool shot with the way the TV's set up is pretty awesome.
We got Fright Night love in the chat, guys. I mean,
I see that.
Lost Boys love too. Dead by Daylight, if made into a movie, which killer would you like to see? I gotta be honest with you, I've never played Dead by Daylight. I don't know if either of you guys have played it.
I have it, but I've never played it, and I really want to get into it. I've actually, I got Friday the 13th when it came out, and I played it for a little while. I haven't gone back. I didn't realize they had added some single player stuff to it, but so both of those I'd like to check out. And I noticed on Dead by Daylight they have expansions, and they have just about every killer from every movie that you could think of, from
Right.
Scream to all the slasher movies. So I need to check it out.
Dude.
No Love for Twilight. Pays that Devin Graham. It's
No.
frightening.
No, Andrew, no Love or Twilight. All right, we got 28 people in here now, guys. This is the last time I'm gonna be a pain in the butt. But if you have not liked the stream, I would love if you liked it. I've got two handsome young men on this stream with me. Drop a like for them.
Where are they at? Are they? You see them behind me or something?
RC1 says, Christian, what are your top 3 Dario Argento movies? I can only comment real quick on the ones I've seen, guys. But number 1, Phenomena. Number 2, Deep Red, I would say. And I guess number 3 would be Suspiria or Tenebrae. Suspiria is Suspiria, I guess, is like his Halloween or whatever. Or not whatever. Excuse me, I shouldn't say it like that. Suspiria is one of the greatest horror movies from the Italian style. It is. People love that movie. Mimi asks, favorite creep show segment. I'm gonna assume yes, Two Evil Eyes, Andrew. I love Two Evil Eyes. I'm gonna assume that he means like the first movie. Kayla and Tommy, are y'all? Can y'all recollect pretty well the segments from the first creep show? All right.
I always get.
Just go ahead, Tommy.
I was going to say I get the first and second ones confused sometimes on which ones are which.
How about this? Between the first 2 movies, I think that'll be cool for Mimi. He'll appreciate that. Tell me which segment from either one or 2, whatever one stands out in your head. What is your favorite segment?
Oh wow!
If you know
some, you go ahead, and I'm kind of have to think about it a little bit.
I've got 2 personal favorites. I am a massive fan. Massive fan. My favorite segment from any creep show ever is in part 1. It's called To Tide You Over. It's got a great cast. First off, you got Leslie Nielsen.
Oh yeah, okay.
You've got Leslie Nielsen in there, and he is fantastic. He's burying the bartender from Cheers in the sand.
Ted Danson.
Ted, that's the best. To me, that's the best creep show thing ever. I just love that. And my second favorite one actually comes from part 2. It's a segment called The Raft, where they get on the water and they're on like that wooden thing, and there's that big blob in the water that comes close to the raft, and it starts eating them. Those 2 are fantastic. Those 2 are just fantastic. So those are my 2 favorite.
The creepiest one, or the one that gives me, I won't say creepiest, the heebie-jeebies, is they're creeping up on you. Which is the one
with the cockroaches?
With the cockroaches, yes.
Oh, that one gives me.
Oh, yeah, that's. And I really enjoy the whole Chief Woodenhead thing from the second one. The crate. I mean, so much good stuff, man.
Oh, that crate's great. Fluffy. That one has a great cast too, man. Kaylin, what do you think?
I was gonna say the crate, but the one with Stephen King in it is good too.
Oh my God, I forgot about that one. Dude.
Yeah.
When he turns into a grass and all.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys know that Tom Atkins, when he read the script, he wanted to play that role? And I think when he talked to George Romero, which rest in peace, that's my all-time favorite horror director ever. George was like, Tom, I would absolutely love to give you that role. And Tom Atkins said I wanted to do that role because I would be the only person in the I'd be the star because I'd be the only person in there. But he ended up being the dad in the beginning, which was still perfect for him because he played a really good, mean dad. But this Stephen King one, Jody, I think was his character's name. Dude, that one's great. I love the first Creep Show. I mean, I don't know. I say the TV show was my favorite thing, and maybe because it's fresh and new in my mind. If I didn't say that, the first one I think is just amazing. That you talk about capturing a live comic book. I mean, I don't know that there's a better example of that.
Yeah.
You know? We got love for the Hitchhiker. We got love for the Crate. Thanks for the ride, lady. Thanks for the ride. Go ahead, Tommy. You sound like you're going to say.
I was just going to say there were so many great movies like that. I mean, I kind of get them all mixed up sometimes when you think of like Twilight Zone, the movie, and you go there. I don't know. So many great movies like that. For some reason, my mind has gone completely blank, and I can't think of what the word is for the movies with the different stories.
The
Why
anthology.
can't I think of them? Yeah, Anthology. I don't know why I couldn't think of that.
And your
favorite
is Tales from the Hood.
Not a bad one. I actually watched that one not long ago.
I love Tales from the Hood.
I never saw the second one, which came out just a few years ago.
No.
Yeah, that's kind of what I heard.
It's not good. 1 second. Real quick, I want to show you the last couple movies I watched, guys. If you watch my videos, you know my thoughts on this. This is Creepshow 3. And I was not a massive fan.
When was that released?
Looks like 2006. Yeah. It's not bad, but it's got the name Creepshow on it. I mean, look.
Yeah.
Now, Tales from the Dark Side, the movie, we all know it's called the real Creepshow 3 because I think there were actual stories that were in that were supposed to be used for the actual first Creepshow movie, as well as George Romero writing part stuff for it. In all intents and purposes, really is Creepshow 3.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's why I was asking because I didn't know if that somehow maybe they repackaged that with the Creepshow name because I remember there being some kind of thing with Tales from the Dark Side movie and Creepshow.
That movie is fantastic. I have Corey. You don't need to see Creepshow 3. Let's see. Tales from the Crypt, 1972. This is from Adam Jeffrey. I'm one of your older fans. Well, thank you, Adam. I love to see it. It's funny. I'll have people say, "Hey, I've been watching you for years," and I'm like, "Why have I never seen you before?" And like, I just watch the videos, man, which is really awesome. It really means a lot when I see somebody, say that. So thank you, Adam. I really appreciate it, dude. Adam, that's on my list because I've been told to check out Tales from the Crypt 1972. I've been told to get that Scream Factory Blu-ray. I need to. I don't know if either of you guys, Kayla, have you seen that or Tommy?
No, I have not.
The show Tales from the Crypt or the Blu-ray?
It's a movie, right? It's an anthology movie.
Yes,
from '72.
I have actually. That's the one that has Dan Aykroyd in the. No. That's the remake. No, I've never seen that one.
Yeah, I need to see that. I need to see that.
I think that's the. Isn't that the one at the beginning where it's Dan Aykroyd and the other guy in the car?
Yeah,
and he's like, I think, isn't that the Twilight Zone movie?
That is the Twilight Zone movie.
Yeah, I thought so. That part's great. Adam Green would for the longest time they would do kind of a play on that where they'd be like, you want to see something scary, and it would always be something different, and I don't know, it was always really funny stuff.
Oh God. But yeah, Adam, I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna make it a point to check that out. Real quick. So the last movie I watched, this is the actual most recent thing, was this amazing movie, Shaun of the Dead. And I love Shaun of the. Shaun of the Dead was a movie I put off watching because I knew I was like, it's just gonna be too silly for me. But it's funny because now, like at this point, if you ask me my favorite genre, like subgenre, it's horror comedy. I love horror comedy so much.
It's so hard to do well.
Right. That movie is good because I think it's able to just like get its humor so broad that everybody could laugh at it. I love the scene where they have to throw records at the zombies, and they're
Right.
deciding which records they can throw. And then they're like, let's just get into the shed and get weapons. Oh my God. Adam says Trilogy of Terror, 1975 TV movie. Yeah, I have scared of the little doll when she was growing up in Trilogy of Terror. Oh man.
I remember seeing that as a kid. I wasn't alive, and I wasn't born in '75, but I remember sometime later on seeing that.
I need to see part 2. I know that came out years later. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, that one actually maybe
posting pictures of the Blu-ray of it.
that one actually may have come out. That may be the one that I'm thinking of. It seems like they did maybe another story about the doll.
Right. Ragman says Tales from the Crypt 1972 is a British amicus film. I don't know what that really means. You have to explain to me. I'm ignorant, Ragman. Help me out. Baby Herman asks, excuse me, who was your favorite character? Excuse me, I'm sorry. Who was your favorite character, not Jason, and Kill in the Friday the 13th franchise? Kayla or Tommy, which one of y'all want to go first on that? Favorite non-Jason character. How about that? We'll do that first.
Oh, let's see.
I've got mine.
Yeah, ideas, Kaylin?
Is it Corey Feldman?
Yeah, that's...
If that's your favorite.
That's my favorite. Did he get killed?
No, he's
No.
Tommy Jarvis.
Well, you don't have to pick a character that got killed. He maybe wants to know favorite character that's not Jason and your favorite kill.
Oh, okay. 2-part question. Yeah, Tommy Jarvis.
I really enjoy Creighton Duke. I know that's crazy, but I don't know. I thought he was kind of a cool.
I'll tell you guys my favorite character, and it's not even a question. My favorite non-Jason character, and I think she is so underrated for her performance in the first movie, is Pamela Voorhees. I've got such an appreciation for the original Friday the 13th now. I need to do another franchise ranking because my list is so different. The original is my second favorite. Final Chapter is my favorite still. But the original is, God, it's such a good horror movie.
What about Kill?
Favorite kill would have to be Julius in Jason Takes Manhattan when he gets his head knocked off and it goes into the trash can. But also the toxic sludge kill when he takes the teacher and dumps his head into that bucket of toxic waste. That's a good one too.
I wish I could have seen the some of these. I have trouble, like, that's why I want to watch the whole series again, because I have trouble remembering which one was which. But I'd like to have seen the original version of the sleeping bag death, where he slams. Apparently, the original version, but I still like the version that's in the movie. It's almost better in a way because the timing of it and everything. But
yeah. Yes. So we got 25 people in here, guys. If you got a question for us, ask away. We're just answering whatever you want now. We've pretty much talked about all the movies we've seen. We have a great question from Evil Joe. He says, what's your favorite metal horror flick? I'm actually going to go with a new movie. It's called a newer movie, excuse me, because I'm seeing love for Trick or Treat, which is a great movie. I'm going with Deathgasm. Holy smokes, that movie is good. That's my guess. Kaylin, you were with me when we watched that. What do you think?
That's crazy metal horror flick right there.
How funny was it? Remember that one scene where all hell has already beyond broken loose, and that the singer for the band, who was like really mean, like demons are everywhere, and he's like gets in a fight with his buddy, and before he leaves, he has to turn around and say, "Death to false metal." There's bodies everywhere. There's bodies everywhere. Demons are taking over the world, but he has to make sure he says death to false metal. That is great. I love Deathgasm, and I thought when Joe Bob did that, which Tommy, season 2 of the Drive-In's going on right now, It would be so fun to get all y'all together at the house one day for we all jam it together live because it's
Yeah.
so fun. I'm catching up on yesterday's tonight. After this, me and Sydney are going to watch they did Heathers, which I think is one of the
Right.
greatest movies ever. I really think Heathers is so good. You can't really categorize it. But anyway, before we get to that kind of stuff, that's my favorite metal horror flick. Tommy, what do you think? Or Kalen,
Oh man.
because I don't want to speak for Kalen. I don't know if that's Kalen's pick as well,
Yeah.
but I know Kalen had fun watching that movie.
I, Deathgasm is probably the best made, but I've always loved Trick or Treat. That was kind of the first one that I saw way back in the day. I remember renting it from the local video store, and the end of it I thought could have been better, but I like the whole premise, especially in the 80s when everybody was afraid of like metal being satanic and the whole playing the record backwards and all that.
LaPierre asks, no love for Hard Rock Zombies, too obscure. I need to watch that movie. It's been on my list even for months. And this was right after I watched Trick or Treat. I was like, ooh, Hard Rock Zombies. That sounds like it would be a hoot and a holler. But I haven't found it yet, and I didn't see a Blu-ray of it or anything, because it just sounds like something I would want to own. But
Right.
I have to just stream it somewhere or find a link. Maybe the movie's on YouTube for all I know.
It's my favorite, The Devil's Candy. Great movie. I even forgot about it kind of being metal related, but that might actually be my favorite. My favorite. A great movie if you haven't seen it yet.
But Kaylin, what are you gonna do? You gonna stick with Deathgasm, or you got something else?
I don't know. I was thinking about this movie that D. Snyder was in. It was kind of an older movie.
Strangeland.
Strangeland. That's
Yeah, it was kind of.
It can be considered metal horror.
Why not? Let's do it. It's got D. Snyder.
It does kind of have that essence.
Yeah.
It had an awesome soundtrack. I remember having the soundtrack. You cannot find that movie anywhere. It doesn't seem like. I don't know if it's out on Blu-ray or.
I don't think it has a Blu-ray. I know it's got. I got it on DVD. That's the only thing I've ever seen of it.
I'd like.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say I'd like to see it.
What's your thoughts on Intruder 1989? I think Intruder is a fantastic slasher. I picked up the Blu-ray for that not long ago. It's on Tubi, the last I checked, guys.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, I think Intruder is fantastic. I think it's great. So I love it. Let's see. Let me. Jana Voorhees. She says favorite metal band. Go ahead, tell me.
Oh wow.
Come on.
Jeez, I have so many that I don't know if I could ever pick a favorite. As growing up in the '90s, being a metalhead, of course, Pantera. But all of those bands that came from that, being from Louisiana, all those bands that came from them, the Crowbars and Acid Bath and all that. I really love Typo Negative. They were probably one of my favorite bands at one time, and I kind of got into like some of the gothic doom stuff from that, Paradise Lost and stuff like that. So Dream Theater has always been one of my favorite bands. So much stuff. I like a lot of new bands, but most of it comes from stuff I listened to as a teenager.
So you gonna go with Pantera?
I guess so, man. Like I said, it changes every day.
I hear you.
That's why it kept going on, because it changes all the time.
Yeah. What do you say, Kaylin?
I only listen to Cold Canyons.
Oh my God. Well, I'll accept that answer. For me, at this moment in time, I'm gonna go with Anthrax. I'm a really big Anthrax fan, especially the John Bush era.
Yeah,
I just think
that played. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
just yeah, dude. That, and I mean, obviously, John Bush's band. I listen to him all the time, but I'm so, Armored Saint. I think he's one of the greatest vocal.
Mm-hmm. And he has a horror connection. Armored Saint was in Hellraiser 3. So
that's how I really started searching them. Obviously, I knew about Anthrax before, but I just said, "Oh, I love this guy, this other singer for Anthrax," but I never did any research. Let's see. Adam Jeffrey says Black Christmas 1974, Halloween 1978. I'm gonna go with Black Christmas 74. They're both so amazing. They're both so freaking amazing, but I think Black Christmas 74 is just really starting to get the appreciation. I mean, it's just like really in the last couple of years, really getting the love it deserves.
Yeah. That's a tough one, man. Because even though I said, I'm not the hugest Halloween fan, I still recognize that first movie as God. It is
one
so
of the kings.
influential.
Yeah. Kalen?
Hmm?
Black Christmas 74 or Halloween 78?
I've never seen Black Christmas, so I'm gonna have to go with Halloween.
Oh, we'll have to change that for you, man. That's a classic. Um, Metropolis says, I noticed Christian doesn't buy Pennywises anymore because NECA screwed us. Tim Curry all the way. Well, look, I mean, they released more Pennywises, and it's the same thing. He's just got a few extra things. I don't need that. I have no room as it is. Ragman
Let's
says,
talk. Go ahead,
what's
man.
up? No,
I
go
was
ahead.
going to say, you're talking about stuff that you've bought. We hadn't really talked about anything like that. I know. Where did you get that Return of the Living Dead poster? The one you showed a picture of the other day?
I get all those right there. I get all those on Amazon because they're just prints, and I get them really
Right.
cheap.
Oh,
And
cool, cool.
I love getting I love buying prints often because it's like, if it's funny, if you were to pull one of my posters down and take the back off to get the poster out, there'd be like 6 and 7 in each one because you can get them so cheap on Amazon, and I just swap them out. So right now I've got Friday the 13th part 5, part 6, and part 7 above me, and I've already gotten burnt out on one of them. So I'm gonna have part 6, part 7, and part 8, but
Nice.
I'm not getting the one of Jason over the city for part 8. I'm getting the big one that says "I love New York" with
Yeah.
Jason cutting through, and I can't wait to have that on the wall.
Awesome.
So, Ragman says, "Have you seen the film Grave Robbers? It's a bizarre, mind-boggling film. You don't know what's real, kind of like a dream. It's 80s film. I recommend." I haven't seen that.
Neither have I. Sounds cool from what he said.
Yep, I'm writing it down. It sounds like something I'd like.
Yeah, write that down. Adam Jeffrey says, "Scariest movie of all time." My choice, The Exorcist. I'm going with Poughkeepsie tapes because it surely scared me more than anything.
And
So,
one of the last roundtables we didn't we talk about the movies that scared us
yeah,
the
which is
most?
I go back and listen to that video sometimes just because it's such a fun listen. I mean,
Yeah.
that episode came out so good, and I've watched Mr. Boogedy on Disney Plus now, and I love it.
But I
do.
gotta go. I gotta go with The Exorcist also. Just
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Like I said, I couldn't even watch it as a kid, and it's still, yeah.
What do you say, Kaylin? Scariest movie of all time.
I don't know. I really like how scary Freddy comes across in Nightmare 2. But I don't know if that's
Oh, dude,
considered
amen.
scariest of all time. Probably The
Kaylin,
Exorcist.
you guys have been at the house to see the standees, right? I've had those before COVID-19.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. I've been had people message me how much for the Nightmare 2 standee. I said it's not for sale. I'm not selling it. Old Fashioned says, does Slumber Party Massacre count? Oh, as a hard rock movie or a metal movie? I guess you could. It's metal to me. A bunch of great women in it. Strangeland 2 never did develop. I would have liked to have seen that. Let's see. Jane of Voorhees says, who's your favorite? Jason, Freddy, Michael, Chucky, or Pennywise? Old or new? Freddy. For me.
Yeah, it's just the character itself, Freddy. It's gotta be.
Yeah.
I think as a whole, I like Friday the 13th more as a series, but Freddy as a character, no doubt.
Wait, Kaylin, did Freddy clean house for all three of us?
Yeah, for sure. Freddy is my number one.
Metropolis says he
followed very closely by Tim Curry, that old Pennywise.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And talking about scary movies, that one's kind of a hard watch now, but as a kid when that came out, yeah, that one got to me. Definitely.
Oh, my God. Nathan, good to see you, man. Nathan's a patron of mine. It's good to see you. CDR says Black Christmas 2019 or bust. I actually saw Black Christmas 2019. That's all I'll say about it.
Yeah. I haven't heard a single good thing about that.
When we get off the stream, I'll give you my really honest opinion on it, but I can't in good conscience recommend it to anybody. on the stream. I'll just say that.
Trying
We got
trying to
23
keep.
people in here. Yeah, we got 23 people here, guys. If you can give the stream a like, that would be great. It's been fun hanging out with you guys. We'll go for a few more minutes. We're going about an hour and 15 right now. But Metropolis, check this out, Tommy. He says he's seen Pantera 6 times, seen Typo Negative 5 times.
Awesome. I saw Pantera once. I never got the chance to see Typo, and I beat myself up over it all the time. But Pantera,
yeah.
one of the most insane live shows
I
ever.
bet. Evil Joe says Pledge Night is a 90s slasher that has Joey Belladonna in it from Anthrax. I need to get that movie. I keep forgetting about it because it's got Anthrax music in it.
Really?
So I definitely got to see it.
You remember the time that you got to meet that guy?
Yeah, we got to see Scott Ann at Texas Fright.
Oh, that's right, Scotty Ian. Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
because Joey Belladonna is my favorite Anthrax member. I just love Joey because like everybody in Anthrax looks so together, right? Everybody in Anthrax, they all look like a band, and then Joey just looks like the crazy karaoke singer.
He came right out of the 80s and has not changed at all.
There's a train going by Kalen. Is it by Kalen or
No,
by
it's
Tommy?
me.
That's just
It's
you?
me. I live
Okay.
right by a train track. So.
That's right. That's right. For some reason, I thought that was the train tracks by Kalen. Cole is gay. It's good to see you, man. I see Cole is gay a lot in Pizzle streams. If you could have a donut with one director, hold on. If you can have a donut, I think this is a Kalen question right here. If you could have a donut with one director, who would it be and what kind of donut? Keep up the good work. Kalen, go ahead.
It definitely be Chuck Band. Me and Charles would we'd have bacon maple donuts and shots of bourbon.
Wow.
Try to follow that, Tommy.
Yeah, I don't think I can. I was gonna say I was gonna say Rob Zombie and
it's gonna have to be a vegan donut because that's all they eat.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say something that he wouldn't like and make him eat it. But I don't know. That's a tough one. I can't even follow that up with anything clever or after Kalen's answer. So
yeah, a director that's passed away would definitely be George Romero. If it has to be a living director, I'd have a donut with Steve Miner. I'd love to talk to Steve Miner. I have so many questions. Just give me a glaze. Don't give me all that extra stuff. Give me a glaze.
Same here. I'm kind of bland when it comes to my donut choices.
Okay. Old Fashioned Slash and Jax has a good question. He goes, what is y'all's favorite slasher plot twist reveal? Pretty specific, I know. Dude, it is as silly as it is. I guess reveal is the better answer for me. I got to go back to Friday the 13th because being able to watch that original movie and really just sink into it now in 2020 and 2019, like I said, I fall in love with that movie. When Pamela comes into that movie, I just think she just takes it over the second she gets the frame. But let me give another one because I don't want to, I don't know how much cooler you can get than Angela Baker in Sleepaway Camp.
Oh my God, yes.
Being a boy, that's a great one. That's a great one, So
I wish that I could have seen the original Friday the 13th without knowing, because by the time I saw it, I had already seen, Jason was already a thing. You know what I mean? And I already knew but I wish I could have seen the first one without knowing anything about it. Then that probably would have been the best. Because I mean, I don't know, maybe some people would have figured it out, but I don't think that anybody would have a clue. Well, you wouldn't, because you don't know anything about her until she pops up. But and I'm with you on Sleepaway Camp. But one that I'll say, just to give something different, is I'm not the biggest fan of this series, but I do like them. You got to kind of go with Scream too, like the original Scream. I mean, as far as that, I thought they did a decent job in kind of taking you back and forth. And is this who this is? Is this not? Is it her dad? You know what I mean? Is it Cotton Weary? So I thought they did a decent job in that movie also.
Absolutely. What do you think, Kalen?
Tommy's always taking my answers. I was going to say Scream as well, but maybe the first Saw movie.
Oh man, I didn't even think of that. Absolutely, that one got me big
like
time.
that.
That's a good one, Kalen. Good one. I know Kalen loves Scream. I think that was his number one slasher when me and him did the top 5 slashers. Let's see. Oh God, we got we got Corey and John talking about Black Christmas 2018. When we get off the stream, guys, I'll tell you. Nathan, good patron of mine. Nathan says, "Is there any horror flick that is considered a classic or cult classic that you don't like?"
Oh man,
It's funny. This isn't really an answer to your question, Nathan, but I've swapped my answer for the longest time. I remember having a conversation with Tommy about this. I didn't like the Craft, but I remember getting the Scream Factory for it, and I was like, let me check this movie out again. And I put it on, and I watched it with my wife, and I love it now. I know that's not an answer to your question. I'm gonna think about another one, but I just wanted to say that like that was a movie I changed my mind on. Like I really like the Craft. So, but either of you guys have one that's just like a big cult hit, but you're just like, I'm not into it.
I don't like Halloween as much as I feel like I should. There's never a time that I'm like, I want to watch the original Halloween. And
It's more of a respect thing for you.
Exactly. I recognize it's play, and I recognize that it's a good movie, but I never am like, I really want to watch that.
Yeah.
So that's really the only thing I could think of that's anything like that.
What do you think, Kalen? You got a movie that maybe not into that everybody likes?
Yeah, Christian, I'm usually a fan of shock horror, but I can't really get behind Human Centipede 2 and 3. It's just hot garbage.
Well, I think we've had a conversation about this. I'm with you on the sequels, not so much. I mean, 2 is okay to me. I don't like it as much as the first one by a long mile. The first movie is not a. The first movie really has some great dread in it. Like, you know, by the time they become the centipede, then it's funny to me. Like it's like over the top what happens. But before, when those girls are in the hospital beds chained up, and he comes in and he's explaining the procedure to them, that is such suspense for me. That's the scariest scene in the movie. But I'm with you. Yeah. Let's see. Evil Joe says Terror Train versus Horror Express. I haven't seen Horror Express, so I got to go with Terror Train. Have you guys seen
Same
Horror
here.
Express?
I've seen Terror Train, but
Have you seen Horror Express, Kaylin? I've never even heard of Horror Express.
No, but I saw the Polar Express one time. It was
pretty frightening.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Stephen LaPierre asks favorite body horror movie. I'm not really sure what you mean by that.
Is that kind of like things like maybe Hostel, or things that deal with, anything that kind of messes with the human body?
I got bad sinus today, guys. I apologize. Hostel was something that was coming to mind. I love the first Hostel. I really do.
I enjoyed the second one. I might have actually enjoyed the second one better than the first one. I'm not a huge fan of the whole, horror porn or torture porn or whatever torture porn. Yeah, but I enjoyed the. You talk about directors that are overrated. I do have to say that I think Eli Roth is a little bit overrated, but I like Cabin Fever, but
right.
Other stuff he's done, I don't know. Never mind.
Kaylin, are you into the body horror?
Sure. I don't know. I can't. If I am, I can't think of a favorite body horror movie at the moment. I'm just realizing that earlier we were talking about subspecies.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of the movie Species.
Those are good too.
Totally different thing.
Those are good too. Nathan comes in with a controversial answer. He says The Shining is hella overrated. I know a number of people that don't dig The Shining. It's trust me, it's nothing compared to the amount of people that I know that love it. But it's always interesting. It's interesting how some movies can be so amazing to people, and then other people just like, it's just interesting. And I'm like that with some movies, Nathan. It's a shame I can't think of more right now to answer your question, but I have movies like that I just don't care.
Yeah.
You know,
Shining has kind of always been that way to me. Like it's another one where I respect the hell out of it,
but there you go.
but yeah.
Old Fashioned says Rosemary's Baby isn't that great to me. I never want to watch Rosemary's Baby either. I gotta that is one of them. I don't care to ever watch Rosemary's Baby. I've seen it.
Yeah, right. I saw it one time. I was like, well, that's pretty good, but it's not one I'll ever sit down and watch again.
Yeah. Let's see. Guys, we've been going for an hour and 25. Got 26 people in here. Go ahead and ask your last best question, guys. We're going to start wrapping it up. This has been really fun.
Yeah,
it's been a successful. It's been a successful Roundtable Massacre live stream.
Can I mention something real quick?
You can do whatever you want.
All right. Before this whole coronavirus thing, Christian, you had let me borrow 2 movies. The first one was Parasite. We talked about that, how much I liked that. But the second one was a movie that I had never seen called Mandy. And it's a Nick Cage movie. And I watched it. I totally had no expectations. And it really blew my mind. And I have to say, Mandy's probably one of my favorite horror flicks now.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Yeah.
It's funny. Little quick story about Mandy. When I watched Mandy, well, first off, before I watched, like, oh, you gotta see Mandy. You gotta see Mandy. I'm like, I'm not really into Nick Cage. I'm a horror fan. Like I just watch a lot of horror movies. I finally got it, and I did not expect the movie to be what it was. I like Mandy a lot. If you haven't seen Color Out of Space yet, Kaylin, that's my okay. So Nick Cage is getting into horror more or less. I like Mandy a lot. I love Color Out of Space, which is the next HP. He did it's an HP Lovecraft movie. Granted, there's multiple movies that are based off of HP Lovecraft's Color Out of Space. So I can't say it's the best one because I haven't seen any of the other ones. I think there's a movie called Cursed that's based off of it. There's another one called, I think it's called Obsession, that are all based off of this HP Lovecraft story. But I liked Color of Space even more, so I'm gonna have to make sure we get you to see that.
Yeah, well, I was gonna ask you guys. I mean, of course, Nicolas Cage is a prolific actor. He's made a lot of movies and some pretty big duds here recently. But the horror movies that he's in have gotten a lot of. I mean, he's doing well. Do you guys think that this is we'll see Nick Cage in more horror movies in the future?
I think so because it's going so well for him so far. But he's kind of the guy. He does whatever he wants. I think, and he's so out there, and you never know what you're gonna get from a character when he's I watched Drive Angry for the first time, and actually, it was corny, but in a good way. I like the movie. I like the movie. So
what was that called, Tommy?
Yeah,
Drive Angry. It's kind of almost like it feels in a way like a 70s grindhouse movie. It was filmed in Shreveport, actually.
Okay.
right.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Also, I was going to let everybody know, if you haven't seen The Lighthouse, it's on Amazon Prime, the free Prime movies that you can watch if you have Amazon Prime. I haven't seen it yet, but I definitely want to check that out.
Oh, check it out. I love the light, not the White House, the Lighthouse. That'd be another horror movie.
And that's the director of The Witch, right? The guy who directed The Witch directed that.
As much as I love The Witch, The Lighthouse, I think is just, I mean, it's nothing like it, but Jesus Christ. I love, that guy's a star. I mean, he's a great director. We'll take one more question, guys. Let's see. I saw a really good one. RC 2001 Studios. And Nathan, yes, I know you don't like Halloween 5. RC 2001 Studios, he says, thoughts on The Last House on the Left and the whole rape revenge genre? I want to see a good movie, and if it happens to be that kind of story, so be it. Uh, Last House on the Left is a very important horror movie
Right.
for the genre, and I like it. You've got a movie like I Spit on Your Grave, which I think is quite honestly an amazing film. I don't really have an opinion on the genre. I just I take the movie at face value, and I'll watch the movie, and
Yeah.
that's really how I feel about that kind of situation. What do you guys think?
It depends on how it's done. If it's done for just pure exploitation, then it just kind of I'm not really into that. But Last House on the Left, in which I kind of felt like they dropped the ball on the remake because they kind of desensitized it a little bit. But the whole rape thing fits. You have to have it to see why these parents went to the extreme that they did. Same thing with I Spit on Your Grave. You had to have it in there to kind of, because I don't like. There's certain things that I would rather not be. I'd be happy if I never saw a rape or an animal being killed or a kid being killed in the movie. Those are three things you have your lines that you would rather not cross when it comes to movies. But if it's done, like you said, if it's done well, it's a good movie. If it's done well, it's probably treated with respect, and it's going to show.
Right. What do you think, Kalen?
I've seen Last House on the Left, but I don't usually seek out rape revenge genre movies.
Right.
I don't know that I've seen enough of them to really have any kind of opinion. I do like revenge movies, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Let's take one more question. Let's see what we have in here. Let me find a good one.
We got two of the same from two different people. If you want to go with that. From Nathan and
Okay. What do you guys think about Cannibal Holocaust? I like the story behind the scenes after the fact of the movie than the actual movie.
Right.
I think that's another important movie. That's really I like the movie. Yeah, Cannibal Holocaust is an important horror film, but I love the fact that the director was put in prison because
Right.
the government thought it was actual footage of real murder and death, and he had to get the actors. And I think the actors signed, if memory serves, they signed some kind of release saying they wouldn't work for an X period of time, so he can promote the film as this real harrowing. Kind of like a Blair Witch type thing.
Yeah.
Promote this real harrowing story of like actual horrific footage caught. So the story took on a life of its own after the fact that I think is even. I would love to see a movie about that, about making this crazy film, and then the director has to go and find these people. I think that's great. So yeah, I like the movie, love the story behind the scenes. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and that's one that the animal deaths bother me more than any of the other violence in the movie. And I know that's probably horrible. I don't know what that says about me, but there's actually a DVD, the DVD that I used to have. You could watch a version where the animal deaths, because the animal deaths are real, but you could watch a version with those taken out, which I never did because I don't like, but I didn't like those parts. But yeah, it sucks nowadays that we're so cynical and the magic is gone from things that you could never do something like that now. You know what I mean? I like to think about the times that you could come out with a movie and people would think it's real. I don't think it's hard to do something like that nowadays. I don't know. That'd be really, really cool.
Virtually impossible, man. We
Right.
know about things as they're happening.
Right.
So. Well, guys, this has been a live Roundtable Massacre, the very first, but I have a feeling the first of many.
Absolutely.
And this worked out good. It seems like we didn't have any connection problems. So, this will be something we can do if we can't get together and film, which I'm really excited to get together and film because I would love to have Tommy's help. I got a DSLR camera, and I need to figure it out to make my videos look even better. But
Yeah,
it's
cool.
been a really good camera. I've been using it the last couple of videos, and I'm just loving it.
You can tell already the quality has definitely improved
Yeah.
in your newer videos.
I appreciate that. I just need to get the settings right. There's so many
Yeah.
settings, like ISO, aperture, all that. It's just like, oh my god. So it's a
Yeah.
little bit different from the webcam life, but all right, guys. So this is Christian. This is Tommy and Caitlin. We love you guys. Obviously, stay
Absolutely.
safe. I don't know what's going on out there with you guys over here. It's getting a little bit better, but we got a lot of crazy people in this state, so things are moving slow. But you guys have a great Sunday night. Maybe you'll see us again real soon. We're gonna talk about it. Try to book another one. Nathan, Joe, Metropolis, RC 2001, Corey, all you guys, thank you for joining us. We'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care and bye.
Later, guys.